Hello, I'm Regan, taking you through some of the things people are talking about and stuff they're sharing around the world on Newsfeed today. Australians call it the race that stops a nation, but is it time to say no to the cup? We travel to Bulgaria, where one young Muslim woman explains how hard it was to graduate from school. Strike a pose, how much are you willing to pay for the perfect Instagram photo on holiday? And the war in Syria is displacing thousands every day, but one unlikely survivor has come into some good luck. First up, the Melbourne Cup. It's a huge international horse race in Australia, mostly known for its glitzy parties and glamorous celeb invites. It takes place on the first Tuesday of November each year. There's even a public holiday for it. But the horse racing industry down under has been marred by controversy after a TV report revealed the mistreatment and slaughter of these magnificent animals. It's got many people wondering if the race that stops Australia should be stopped altogether. Adama has the details.
Horse racing is a big part of the Australian identity, but recently it's become a matter of national shame. Thousands of people attended the Melbourne Cup on Tuesday. Millions more watched it on TV. Outside the racecourse and elsewhere across the country, animal welfare activists were protesting and urging Australians to say no to the cup.
Well, we're here today to show people that you don't need to have a good time by going to the races where you're indirectly supporting animal cruelty.
It's not a new issue. In past years, injured racehorses have had to be put down in front of crowds. While killing retired racehorses isn't illegal in Australia, an investigation produced by ABC Australia revealed the animals are secretly killed on an industrial scale. The documentary showed horses being kicked, beaten and slaughtered. Their meat is then shipped abroad to Europe, Japan and Russia. More than 8,000 racehorses are retired each year. The industry says less than 1% end up in an abattoir. Australian states like New South Wales require all retired racehorses be rehomed. But ABC found around 300 of the animals were slaughtered in just 22 days. Even people working in the industry were horrified by what they saw.
Really, I think it's a terrible thing, but the industry spends a lot of money supporting the care of horses after their careers are over. And what happened was horrific, and the people that did it should be shot.
The ABC report caused such a stir, people aren't just protesting. They've taken to social media and tweeting using the hashtags #NopToTheCup and Love Horses, Not Races. Veteran broadcaster Bruce McAvaney weighed in on the issue, admitting that as a horse owner, the video made him feel ashamed.
It was horrifying to watch. As a small-time owner, it made me feel ashamed. And not to have known is not good enough. There has to be a way we all think going forward.
The racing industry says it's doing just that. Millions of dollars have been pledged for the care of retired racehorses. And the Victoria Racing Club says 10% of ticket sales from the recently concluded Melbourne Cup Carnival will go towards a new welfare fund. But only time will tell if that'll help the industry recover the trust it's already lost.
Now let's have a look at some other things that caught our eye on social media.
So, given our current situation, can you tell us how bad the numbers are?
Bad. Lionheart is in severe debt.
950 million naira.
What?
This is a clip from the Nigerian movie Lionheart. It's about a young woman who must fight a patriarchal society that expects her not to excel in life. But the flick's been disqualified from the Oscars International Feature Film category for containing too much English. Well, fans of the movie have been screaming online with disappointment. Tweeters argue the Academy expects foreign countries to use local dialects in films, maybe to give the impression that only Hollywood can do English movies well. After God knows how many high-level marketing meetings, the guys at Facebook have decided to rebrand the world's largest social media company as Facebook. That's Facebook in caps, and we have to shout for that. But the move follows a series of big mistakes that have negatively impacted the brand. But some users say rebranding Facebook to Facebook won't change the company's reputation. In fact, some critics are calling it a face plank. The Washington Nationals got a hero's welcome at the White House after winning the 2019 Baseball World Series. It was an emotional victory for the team and the first win for the state in nearly a century. But this is the clip that's gone viral. The US Marine Corps band playing the team's unofficial anthem and a newsfeed favorite, Baby Shark. We're going to introduce you to Emine Rasimova. She says she faced so much discrimination at school in Bulgaria, she almost did not graduate. Now, for reasons that aren't always clear, many non-Muslims are afraid of Islam. It's frustrating that in 2019, so many people refuse to openly discuss their tendency to discriminate based on race, religion, and culture. Stories like Emine's are still playing out in real time across the world. Harris went to Bulgaria to meet her.
Трудно беше. Служих за братка в 9-ти клас. Имах много обиди, бях много наранена.
Islamophobia, anti-Muslim racism or anti-Muslim hatred is well present here in Bulgaria and even normalized, some Muslims say. It's felt in different segments of society, from the judiciary to education and the media.
После тръгнахме на училище. Преди да служа за братка, в правилника нямаше забрана за забратка. После го направиха правилника така. Постоянно получавах предупреждения, че нарушавам правилника за училището.
Целта им беше детето да свали забратката и да ходи на училище без забратка. Това продължи до средата на първата учебна година в 9-ти клас, след което и наложиха заповед, предупреждение за преместване в друго училище. След изтичане на тази заповед и наложиха преместване в друго училище. По документите преместиха в друго училище.
The family says this other school was 250 kilometers away, but the actual transfer never happened. After unsuccessful cases at local and national levels, the family appealed to the European Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg.
Това ми беше интересно, че когато тя ходеше с забратка 4 години в училище, имаше го това изречение, че се забранява влизането в училището с забратка. След което вече тя като завърши, премахнаха тази забрана, влизането в училището с забратка и по този начин си играят с нас мюсюлманите.
Emine's case is not isolated. A few students wearing hijab were denied access to their final exams at schools, which are crucial for graduation and further education.
Islamophobia is a serious problem for the Muslim community in Bulgaria. It's a reality of everyday life. Islamophobia is deep-rooted in the Bulgarian society because of the Ottoman past of the Bulgarian state. The Muslim community and the Turks are the biggest minority in Bulgaria. That's why many politicians and public figures look to the Muslim community as a threat to Bulgarian society and Bulgarian state.
Islam came to Bulgaria in the mid-9th century through missionaries, but it mostly spread during Ottoman rule from the late 14th until the late 19th century, with many Turks settling in the country. From 1959 to 1989, the Turkish community was a target of the communist regime and subject to the assimilation policy, officially called the revival process. A name change was a huge part of it. So, Behriye Mestanova became Borislava Mladenova, and Ismet Ismailolu was renamed to Ilko Ilcev Panov. The Muslim identity faded away, and the consequences are still being felt, and many Islamophobic ideas are spreading through different channels of communication.
You cannot stop social media. This is more rough ground there. They're telling stories without checking facts, without even thinking about facts.
Islamophobia mostly reflects in the prejudice against the population and the anti-Muslim statements. Attacks on the Muslim-owned property are rare, but still happen.
Какво трябва да се направи? Ние сме сезирали органите на реда, където трябва да се сезира, но
така или иначе не се намира решение на проблема. Решението е в мирното съжителство и
Muslims now form up to 15% of this society. But according to the Pew Research Center's projections, Bulgaria might be the only European country to see a drop in their Muslim population due to people leaving the country.
Now, taking the perfect Instagram picture isn't as easy as it may seem. You need good lighting and the perfect pose. Well, in central Turkey, local shops and restaurants recognize they live in a paradise for photography. So many of them are looking to cash in on tourists who, ironically, aren't buying what they're selling. Denny explains.
In a place where hundreds of colourful hot air balloons fly over ancient rock formations every morning at sunrise, the inside of a carpet shop may seem like an odd choice for a memorable holiday photo. But here in Cappadocia, it's a huge drawcard.
I like the motifs and the pattern and all. It's very individual, it's very unique.
It's very vibrant and it actually brings out the happiness in everyone.
The Ickman family has been selling carpets here for 6 generations. But many of the thousands of tourists who visit each week haven't come to buy them.
The old days we are selling every day almost 30, 40, the maximum maybe 100 pieces. But nowadays, if we are selling in the day like 10 pieces, we are lucky.
So lately, photography has become a way to make money. The brilliant colours and textures here make it the perfect backdrop for a private photo shoot. Now, for a small fee, you can take your own photos, but if you prefer something a little more professional, Suleiman and his son will clear the room for you, and they'll even use a drone. A drone photo shoot costs between $45 and $90, depending on how many photos they take. The Ickmans will even throw in some art direction for free.
You know, people, before they travel these days, they go on Instagram to see where other people have been. They check out the locations, and that's how they find out like where's a good Instagram spot. And I think that's they've done this really perfectly well.
But carpet sellers aren't the only ones capitalising on the Instagram boom. Sultan Cave Suites is usually booked out months in advance, due in part to an Instagram post that went viral on Chinese social media.
We got many Chinese guests in Cappadocia that 2 years, and after start to be popular more in Russia, I know even in Turkey, United States, all around the world.
Now the hotel staff prepare an identical setup every morning so guests can replicate the photo.
My girlfriend found it on Instagram, and I think it's probably this spot here exactly, where she'd seen a lot of people take pictures.
For those who don't trust their own photographic skills, there are professionals for hire. Mohammed Mekama began working in Cappadocia after visiting as a tourist. Now he says he knows the best places for the perfect sunrise photo.
I think someone who's been here a couple of times will know the spots, will know the angles, and it's not something that us, being first-time visitors, would be able to do.
The latest government figures show the number of visitors to Turkey is up 15%, while revenue is up 22% since the same time last year. And Instagram is proving to be a vital part of that tourism boom.
And finally, on Tuesday's Animals Doing Stuff, the story of a puppy named Bobby in northeastern Syria is breaking hearts on social media, but in a good way. Take a look. That's it today from Newsfeed. Our Newsfeed team. Reach out to us with your questions, comments, complaints and suggestions at TRT World. You'll find us around the clock on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, and you can follow me if you like on Facebook and Instagram at Reagan Explores. See you tomorrow. Bye.